by Festus Okoromadu, Abuja. The federal government, yesterday, assured Nigerians that it is addressing the current fuel scarcity being witnessed across the country, adding that the queues recorded in petrol stations would thin out before the end of the week. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Drive. Ibe Kachikwu, who gave the assurance while addressing newsmen in Abuja on Thursday, said the federal government will flood the market with more products to cushion the effect of oversubscription and sharp practices through the Kaduna refinery, which has started producing about 750,000 liters, and the Port Harcourt refinery, which would commence production of 2.1 million liters per day in the next 1 week. According to him, the NNPC was already taking emergency steps to fill up the gap, adding that 4 cargoes of fuel are expected in the next 4 days, while about 30 vessels would come in about a week's time. Describing the new method to be adopted as a 3-pronged strategy, Drive. Kachikwu said the government has charged the regulatory agencies in the industry such as the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, and Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, PPPRA, to apply stricter monitoring of supply and distribution of petroleum products across the country. The government, the minister said, was also considering additional trucking to major cities by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, using their strategic reserves from Suleja, Minna, Gasa, and Gom. Other states to be fed with large quantity of the product, apart from Lagos, include Abuja, Kano, Sokoto, Axis, and the Northeast. Kachikwu blamed the recent fuel crisis on the inability of independent marketers to import petroleum, stressing that the NNPC was the sole importer of the commodity over the last couple of months. The fact that other petroleum marketers had stopped importing the commodity, leaving the NNPC to fill in the gap. What the buying public is expected to see over the next week is a significant improvement in Lagos. Lagos has already started thinning out, and it is expected to get better by Friday. Abuja queues are also expected to thin out completely by weekend, while the Kaduna areas are to be served by the refineries and strategic reserves from the Suleja depots, he said. Kachikwu further disclosed that the NNPC had been directed to look for emergency fuel supply from any available source to fill up the gap and also track its cargoes to know their expected time of arrival. Speaking of the long-term strategy being deployed, Kachikwu said the emphasis would be on the revamp and upgrade of the country's refineries, noting that efforts are on to ensure that the process for the award of the contracts for the refineries are concluded before the end of the year, while work on them commences in earnest January next year. He explained that investors with the requisite financial capability would be encouraged to invest in modular refineries, while the petroleum policy approved by the Federal Executive Council would be implemented, especially as it is a major enabler for downstream sector investments. Government's explanation is coming on the heels of recent accusation by Alhaj Balagan Alanamu, chairman of Lagos Zone of Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, who said that the NNPC management should be blamed for the ongoing fuel queues across the country.